Here are your video instructions for making our Eevee Infinity card. You're going to need your sheet that you got from the library. You will need a glue stick, some scissors, and optional or some colored pencils if you want to color it at the end. This is what we are making today. We're making an endless card that shows some evolutions of Eevee. The evolutions, a couple of the evolutions associated with Eevee. So we start with Eevee. When we flip our card, we get a Pokeball covering someone. Who is it covering? It's covering Flareon. And as we keep flipping, we see another evolution of Vaporeon. And then it flips back around and we're back to sweet little Eevee again. So start by cutting off the bottom parts that has the squares for forming the card. And you will see on the back side there are instructions that we're going to follow step by step. So the first one is to cut out the two large squares along the thick black lines. And if you cut to the inside of those lines, it will work best. So I'll move that out of the way. And we will cut. So after you cut, you should have two squares that have very little to none of that black outline. This one still has a tiny bit. I'm going to go ahead and trim it off just to make everything look nicer at the end. All right, so the next step says to fold along the 4 blue dotted lines. So when I look at the back sides of my squares, I have these dotted lines and these dotted lines. So I'm going to fold those. And you can unfold them when you're done. Right, so you folded them, you can unfold them when you're done. The next step says to cut the 2 squares in half along the solid blue lines. So here is one solid blue line, it's on both sides. Here is the other solid blue line. So I'm going to trim that or cut those. You'll notice they're going different directions on the picture. Okay, so we have our 2 big squares cut into 2 pieces. Them both right here. I'm going to look at the back sides of them for right now. So if you see, if I arrange them so that those ABCD squares are on the outside corners, doesn't matter what the picture on the inside looks like, it's okay. And either one of these is fine to start with. So I have A, B, C, D going clockwise on this one, and here I have A, B, C, D going counterclockwise. I'm going to start with this one face down, or facing up towards me, my letters facing up, and I'm going to match these pieces. So here A and D will match up, so I'm going to set this one right here. And here B and C are going to match up right like this. So I'm going to set that one here, and then we'll start gluing it. So we'll take use this as our gluing protection, and we'll glue A on. And so that fold should be clear, and that fold should be clear, and it should be just that square that is glued together. We'll go ahead and glue D on. Okay, so glue our D's together, keeping our square. Press it and check that our folds still work in both directions. Right, on this side, we need to glue B and C onto it. So we'll start with B. And we'll check our folds. And then our last glued spots, we'll glue C's together. And again, check our folds. Okay, so as soon as that glue has dried, we have done this. We have Eevee. We have our Pokeball covering someone. That someone is Flareon. One more fold brings us to Vaporeon. And I see that that's a little tricky to unfold, so it looks like maybe I just need to trim this a little bit. So we'll go ahead and do that. Okay. And then comes around to Eevee. Let's check to see if my trimming job worked its magic. And there